Good evening and welcome back to the Cheltenham Exchange. Joined tonight by Alex and Ian, and we're going to do a quick review of everything that went on last week at the festival. Just a quick chat through, nothing too formal. Catch up with the boys, see how well they did. Both rolling in it after a good week. Alex, all good?
Yeah, very well, thanks, OJ. Although my voice hasn't recovered yet after the Thursday and doing a lot of shouting at one point. So, yeah, all good.
And Ian had a wonderful festival, wonderful Friday. You were with him, weren't you, Alex, for Air of Entitlement? She raked it in off the back of that.
I was a wreck. I honestly didn't know what to do myself.
Yeah, I came to see Ian just before the last race, and coming at the straight, I backed the horse that was leading hot first, and I knew Ian was in for a lot of money if Air of Entitlement came in, and I was just didn't know what to do with myself either. I was like, I don't know whether to cheer my horse home, knowing that Ian would win more money, and it was great to be there with Ian to see him, to experience him winning that money. So yeah, all good.
Lovely. So, welcome to everyone. I hope you all had a fantastic week. Before we get into it, a mention for that'sagoal.com, who've kindly been sponsoring some of our latest shows. Hope some of you out there took advantage of some of the betting offers that they put up on the site. Some crackers there. I
did.
opened a Boyle Sport account and duly did all right there because I put one of my free bets on King Rascal Grey, so I was happy enough with that. That was good. So yeah, hope you all got involved. So that'sagoal.com. Keep checking them out. Always got the best offers on there. And Ian, competition winners. I'll let you lead the way.
I will do. So we had our hoodie competition thanks to Racing Tees, and so there was two to win the hoodies, and I'll just share the winners. So there we are. So it's John. So we're not sure your surname, John. So at Peppy39 and Mike Iron and at Mike Iron 65. So you guys, congratulations, you've won the Cheltenham Festival hoodie. We'll get in touch with Racing Tees and get the details to send the hoodies out to you.
Well done, Jeds. I think that was fixed having some Mike Iron. That's you and John. Okay, so ready to get stuck in, boys? We'll have a quick chat through. If there's not much to say, there's not much to say. Obviously, opened up on Tuesday with the Supreme, and it was a cracking race, wasn't it? Old Park Star obliged for Nicky Henderson. Sober Glory ran a cracker in second, and My Daddy Paddy, or My Paddy Daddy, I can't remember which way around it is. Came storming through, but there was obviously a bit of a coming together between My Paddy Daddy and Sober Glory. But I thought Old Park Star ran very well. Ian, I'll have to let you kick off with it being a Hendo winner, first race of the festival.
It was nice to get off to a good start. So he was my nap at the meeting, but I was really nervous. As Sober Glory, as you said, ran a cracker of a race coming up around the corner. And if you watch the last hurdle, he makes a bit of an arse of it, Old Park Star. So he seems to peck, but he just had so much going up that hill, and did he win by a length and a half in the end? He just seemed to have that much more speed and power to beat Sober Glory. And as you said, Skelton was trying to get in the middle of the two of them, and Ben Jones and Nico seemed to cut him off to stop that come through. But no, it was nice, and to have four Brits, 1, 2, 3, 4. Baron Noir was fourth for Alan King. But no, got the festival off to a good start.
It was a good start. Where do you tackle next year for Old Park Star then?
I think so.
Yeah.
He normally sends his Supreme winners straight to the Arkle, so yeah, I reckon so, Jay.
Good. Alex, what did you make of it?
Yeah, it was an interesting Supreme, wasn't it? Obviously, talked the talk and just sort of bombed out, didn't he? That's one of the ones I put up. And then I also put up Sober Glory. Was really happy with how he ran. Just like Ian said, he just got out-battled slightly at the hill. Did sort of run into the rail at one point as well. And it was, I think, as well as Old Park Star, he didn't jump the last particularly well either. So yeah, it was a really good race. The one I'm sort of maybe taking more from than the others out of it is Baron Noir. I mean, going through a lot of these races, if you look back through all the races over the 4 days, the majority of the horses that won races were towards the front or either leading or prominent, and he came from the back to finish fourth. He passed a lot of horses. Watching that race back again a couple of days ago, I was really taken with his performance, just following him through the field. So that's one that I'll certainly be looking at for next season, Baron Noir. But I mean, the front three were all brilliant, weren't they? I think this is going to be a Supreme that's going to produce a lot of winners over the next few years.
Yeah, as you say, I mean, it was a bit of a theme for the week, but particularly on the Tuesday, you had to be up with the pace, didn't you? Really, I think in every race, to be honest. So yeah, definitely was. I thought Sober Glory ran a cracking race. I noticed Johnny's quite keen for him to stay hurdling. I think, didn't he? He mentioned champion hurdle next year. Did he say that he was quoted 33s or something for champion hurdle?
And I think my daddy Paddy might be staying over hurdles as well. I think from what the Skelton was saying. Yeah, I believe so.
The Skelton said, cool, quite.
He said, "What's the point having a mind if you can't change it?" Is what Skelton said. So who knows? Who knows what they'll do? I mean, they probably don't know at this point. But maybe they'll school him at the start of next season, see how he does, and if he looks like he likes it, then go over fences, and if not, stay over hurdles. Who knows?
Lovely. Okay. So then, of course, we had the Arkle, Cargies. Copet de Board made a bit of a... Talking of last fences, I mean, he made a right hash. He seemed to travel so well. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, he obviously he made a couple of mistakes early, didn't he? Which to me weren't really much of a problem because obviously he had so much time to sort of get himself back into the race. It was just that mistake at the end. He hit the fence and then nodded on landing, and I think I read in some of the stats, some of the race IQ stuff, that he lost nearly 8 miles an hour jumping that fence. I mean, coming to that fence, you just thought, he's just going to hose up, isn't he? And then hit the fence, took all the momentum out, and then Cargesi, who, she didn't jump it particularly well herself, but she jumped it better than Kopeck. She obviously just beat him to the line. He's obviously the one to take going forward, isn't he, Kopeck, considering that was his second ever start over fences. You'd imagine he'll probably have another 2 or 3 goes over fences before the Cheltenham Festival next year, and I think he's a great bet for the champion chase.
Yeah.
Lulamba just needs to step up in trip. Henderson said before that if there was the old 2.5 mile chase, that's where he'd have gone. To me, he looks like a horse that could run in a King George. I said before the festival, I think he's a King George winner in waiting, and I mean, I'd like him to step up at Aintree and then potentially go over 3 miles at Christmas. That would be what I'd want to do with him if he was mine.
Love it. Ian?
Yeah, because what Alex was saying, so the Lambert seemed to make a mistake 2 out, and then, as Alex was saying, Peck was there. I think he seemed to peck on landing, and
lost
said
loads of momentum, didn't he?
Yeah, he just totally took the edge off, and Cargis just, as they she made all the race and just finished off well. But yeah, it sounds like Lulamba's going to go up in trip, as Alex said, to Aintree. I wonder if he could be like a Ryanair horse for next year, maybe.
Lovely. And I think, we've got to give Cargis credit. She ran a good race. Kept on well up the hill as well. So, another good race. Lovely. So we move on to the Fred Winter, won by Saratoga. Winston Jr. caught the eye, the way he flew up. We're talking about horses that came from nowhere, really. It was pretty eye-catching. What did you make of this, Ian?
Yeah, I'm kicking myself, really. We say that kind of all the trends in it seem to go against Saratoga. And if you're looking, we was looking at the betting, he seemed to cut. It was 10-1 in the end. Then he come right out the betting. So a lot of the money coming in for Winston Jr. I forget who went off favourite in the end. But yeah, just very good. What did he won by 2 1/4 lengths? The one I kind of took out was the Nichols one, that Pourquoi Papa. That was it. But
what does that mean in French?
I thought he ran quite a good race into fourth, so he's gone straight into the tracker. Quinta de Largo was one of the ones I liked, was fifth, but 8 1/4 lengths behind. No, it was the Henderson ones both went off. Mustang, De Bruyne and Manlager, but they were 7th and 8th and disappointed.
Mustang De Bruyne got absolutely smashed in the betting, didn't it?
Yeah, so they're both the JP mares that really got backed off. So I was disappointed with Glen to Glen, who I really fancied, was 18th, like a distant 18th. But yeah, a good win for Saratoga.
Yeah, like it, Alex. Good performance.
Yeah, same as Ian. I mean, Pourquoi Papa was eye-catching. The other one that I'd sort of take out the race that I think probably still be well handicapped is that Mighty Celt. Started at the back, ran into a bit of traffic on the turn as well. Kept on up towards the finish, ran all the way to the line. That's another horse that I think's above its mark still. But yeah, those would be the two that I'd take out the race. But I mean, no huge opinion on the ones at the front.
Yeah. Lovely. Okay, on to the ultimate. We had a lovely winning tip for the channel here because Johnny put up Johnny Who, another McManus winner. Alex, and the ultimate's a race you've done well in the past. What were your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it now, it looks really obvious, doesn't it? Considering how well he won off. Well, sorry, how well he ran in the Kim Muir off a pound different last year, or a few pound different. It wasn't much. I mean, Jaguar was a real eye catcher, wasn't he? As he was flying home, and a lot of people were saying, including me, that it'd be that you weren't sure whether he'd stay. But I mean, you certainly think he'd stay now.
Yeah.
And I've seen some people mention him for the national. So yeah. The other one that I thought was good, the horse that I was interested, well, not interested, but the horse that I was impressed with was also Blow Your Wad. He flew at the finish as well, and he'd only had a ride about 2 weeks before the festival. He ran at Newby right at the end of February. I know he's recently changed trainers, didn't he, from Tom Lacey back to Gary Moore. So the only thing that's a bit annoying with him is that he's had 3 runs in about 4.5 weeks. He's not won any of those races, and he's gone up in the handicap each time as well. So, yeah, good effort from him. But yeah, no major view other than it was quite obvious. Now you look back.
Yeah, Jaguar is starting to be a bit of a what's the saying about always the bridesmaid, never a bride, something like that. Isn't
Always
it?
Second.
Reminds me a bit of Bywise. The fact that he always seems to be flying at the finish over whatever trip he's at, but then never quite gets there.
Yeah.
Bywise, what a horse.
Bywise, OJ?
Yeah.
Lauren's dad loved Bywise. Yeah, always.
He's great.
Always.
Could always put him in Exacta as like a permanent second.
Yeah. Any additional thoughts, Ian?
No, again, I'm echo what Alex was saying about Jaguar. I'm totally written him off for this race. I didn't think he'll stay, but really proved me wrong. He was, I'd say, half a length beaten by Johnny Who. I had Johnny Who kind of penciled for the national. I thought he might have done well. I didn't expect him to win, but that was a brilliant performance. I don't think he's done his credentials for the national any issues or any doubts whatsoever. Quebec was third, ran really well. He was, what was he, 10-1? I think he was well fancied as well. Yeah, not much else to add, OJ. So, yeah, Highland got mentioned because Paul was on with us.
Yeah.
Sadly, the night didn't come in, but I think he just seemed to run out of puff. I think he finished sixth in the end.
He ran a decent race, didn't he? I mean, he's dominant all the way through, but just didn't seem to have anything left in the tank really at the end.
No, I think he was pressing 3 out, and I think I'd just say come the second fence. I think that was his line. He just faded out into 6th. But yeah, very good winner.
Lovely.
Another JP handicap winner.
Yep. Yes, indeed. He had a good week.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, champion hurdle, Alex. I have to come back to you because you've called this a long while. You've been saying Lossie goes champion hurdle and then Wadu wins mares, and she obliged in fantastic style. I mean, she really did.
Yeah, she was fantastic, wasn't she? Just, I mean, did everything that I thought she would. I mean, it was the clear choice to come here, considering how weak of a champion hurdle it is. And I mean, she was clearly just the best horse in this race. I was very disappointed with Golden Ace, though. When you consider like what the form that she's had in the book over the last 2 years, you've got to say that's one of her worst performances. Just, yeah, I couldn't see how she'd get beaten by the New Lion, let alone Alexia, and she was beaten by both of them.
Yeah.
Maybe just an off day. And yeah, what a waste of money them supplementing Tutti Quanti. So, yeah, 3 thoughts on that race.
Yeah, that could be my fault. Yeah, impressive it was.
Oh, she was fantastic. I had to eat humble pie because I was adamant that she was going to go to mares, and Alex has said all along that she was going to come here, and yeah, Alex was right. But yeah, so she was outstanding. I thought Alexi ran really well into 4th. I think he made a mistake at the last and kind of affected his placings. He could have. He was running up with the New Lion. I think that mistake just cost him a 3rd place. But yeah, an excellent run. But yes, to the top 3 that we thought brighter days ahead. Made all the running but yeah, Lossiemouth was just too good for her in the end. She just loves Cheltenham.
Yeah. Lexi, Welsh champion hurdle form. We'll come back to that later again. A couple of times. Okay, plate. Alex, I'm going to have to come to you first again here, aren't I? Because again, for months and months and months, Alice, that's my daughter, Alex, said Madara.
He's so good, isn't he, that horse? I mean, I was saying before the thing, I had him marked as a future Ryanair type. I genuinely, I could see him running it the next year. You just know what the Skeletons are going to do you? They're going to just sort of try and fiddle his mark back down again and run him over 2 miles for the whole season and then try and come back here. I mean, what will he get? Probably. Have they announced how much the weights have gone up by Ian yet?
I'll have a look. I know they've done the Irish ones. Let me see if I can find it quick.
Yeah, have a look. I mean, even if he rode in it again next year off £7 or £8 high, you'd probably fancy him again, wouldn't you? Considering how easily he did it this time.
Oh, he looked to have so much in hand.
And if anything, the fact that Will the Wise was second to him, and Will the Wise was talked about as being a very well handicapped horse as well. So yeah, I just absolutely love watching that.
I bet you did.
I think they've done the Irish ones, but not the English ones yet.
Okay. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they put him up by.
Lovely. Yeah, Ian, I haven't asked you your thoughts.
Yeah, I'm kicking myself over Madara. I didn't have any money on him, but Zurich, who I backed, was fifth, so credible fifth, 13 3/4 lengths behind. Yeah, Madara is one of them just staring you in the face, wasn't it? And tried to get him beat, and just it was too good. 7.5 lengths, excellent skeleton winner.
It was very good, very comfortable, facile. Okay, so day one rounded off with the National Hunt Cup, and it was another Hendo winner, Ian, to bookend the card, Holloway Queen.
Yeah, not a penny on. Not a penny on. I done. Yeah, I'm trying to think who I done in the end. Pick Rock. I think I done on the day for Ben Pauling comes 7th. One of my main bets. Oh yeah, back me or sack me. No Tornado didn't really go that well. Pulled up 2 out. Sean Flanagan. It just didn't really put into the race at all. But my picks weren't too good. But it was quite a surprising win for James Bowen. He was the only Bowen to have a winner at the festival. But a very surprising Henderson winner.
Yeah, he had a good festival, old James. Certainly a good. Did he have 2 winners on day one, or was he on? No.
One day one, one day two.
Yeah, and next day.
Yes, very good. Yeah, Alex said back me or sack me, and mentioned there was quite a big fancy. What were your thoughts?
Yeah,
the ground was a factor.
He was one of a few horses towards the back that didn't jump very well, and over that far, when you're at the back and you're jumping poorly, it's just I thought that they made the right decision in pulling him up when they did, because it means they can at least try and run him again later this season. So yeah, one of those things happens. It's racing.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, boys, we'll move on to day 2 and the Turners. I've already mentioned this because give myself a pat on the back. I was very keen on King Russell Gray.
Come on, OJ, break it down for us.
He looks a very progressive horse, doesn't he? When you look at the race at DRF with Talk the Talk and Ballyfad, I think was he 3rd in that?
Yeah, he was.
And he looked to really have stepped on. So yeah, what did you make of it, Al?
I had in fact, go to Ian first, because I had a little each way play on this race, which I want to come along to afterwards. So go to Ian first.
Come on, Henny.
Well, I originally liked Ballyfad, but the way that Talk the Talk run on in the Supreme really kind of put me off. And obviously in hindsight, King Rasco Grey was 3rd and 1. But, it kind of put me off. So I looked again. I thought, you know what? I can't see no drama this end getting beat. And he was the obvious favourite. Did not go a jot, did he? He was out the back, eased out. And I think he was really, really poor. And I think by the sounds of it, I think Paul Nicholls is going to send him straight to Aintree, because he's not really had much of a race. But yeah, he was poor, I thought. But I can't take anything away from the winner, King Rasco Grace. He was another one who drifted out 11 to 1 in the end. But yeah, took a keen hold and so he was prominent most of the race. But yeah, a very good winner for Mr. Townend. I think it was his 40th festival winner, that one.
Yeah, no drama this end was one I was really getting excited by early in the season. But yeah, as you say, didn't run any kind of race. I mean, don't know. But those, I know he didn't directly compare him to Denman, but those kind of whatever the association was, that's certainly.
Active Innocence ran well.
Sorry, mate.
Second, but it's Active Innocence ran well. Was just King Rasco was too strong up the hill.
And Ian, you sent me a WhatsApp. I think it was on the day, or maybe in the evening on the Tuesday.
Okay.
Told me Soldier Reeves, Judge Pottage had given you
Yes.
Soldier Reeves, and then you didn't do it, and it finished
Go forth.
25-1.
That leads on to me very nicely, OJ, because that's the horse I was going to mention.
Right, take it
It was
away.
behind
Alex.
Old Park.
No one mentioned it to me, but literally about 2 or 3 minutes before the race, I was thinking, Soldier Reeves, I hadn't even noticed he was in the race. I was like, I seem to remember he had a form line somewhere. It just twigs in your brain. Like, I remember him racing against something good. I had a quick look and I saw that he'd been behind Old Park Star, and he'd also won at Cheltenham, so I was like, oh, I'll just put a couple of quid each way on him. And then coming around the bend, I think he was like basically last. I was like, oh well, it was 150-1 bet. He had no chance anyway. And then suddenly, next thing I see is him coming absolutely flying up the hill. If you haven't watched it, if people haven't watched it, watch it back. I mean, if they want to with this horse, they could certainly get him a handicap mark of running up attempts next year if that's what the Scoutmans want to do, because he certainly looks like he'd stay up that hill over 3 miles. Yeah, it was really funny to watch. Just proper mad one.
Because I did the other one. I'd done Hurricane Pat, who was second in that race. So I thought, well, I'll do him. I didn't even think of Soldier Eve. So Judge Pottage said about it, but I thought, no, I'll do Hurricane Pat. He was 50-1, and the other one was come off. I was like, oh.
Yeah, well done to the judge. Shout out to the judge.
Great spot.
Okay, the Browns novices, Kitsbull with another fine front-running performance. Alex, were you impressed?
Yeah, he was great, wasn't he?
Yeah.
You sort of thought coming to the last when he nearly got past, didn't he? And then he just suddenly went again, outfought Final Demand up the hill. That looked like a real big performance. There were sort of concerns with him coming to the race because obviously he performed so well at Kempton, which is such a very vastly different track to Cheltenham. But I mean, all credit. It was a great front running, well, great ride by was it Cobden was on, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think it's his only winner.
And yeah, just a great performance. Someone I was with actually mentioned that they think Cobden is a really good jockey when he can ride with the lead, but he's really poor at timing when he's coming from behind. And I think there's something in that.
Okay. He's a lovely jumper of fence, isn't he, Kitsbull?
Really nice jumper of a fence.
Unfortunately, Kate Doherty came down, but it's too hard to tell how he was getting on, to be honest. But he seemed to be travelling quite comfortably.
He looked like he was travelling with himself, didn't he? Like, absolutely fine. Yeah. So, one of those things. Like I say, it's racing.
Yeah.
Horses make mistakes.
Keep on side, though, I think, Al. Yeah. Definitely taking note of you with Kate Doherty. Yeah, Ian, impressed by Kitsbull then, mate?
Very good, yeah. So I can't say he was on my radar because of the fall. I was kind of a bit put off. I associated him more with like a flat track horse, to be honest, and would like it right-handed. But yeah, he totally proved me wrong. He was very good. I did back Romeo Coolio. I think he made a mistake. When did he make a mistake? I think 4 out, and Jack Kennedy instantly pulled him up, and I think that was as soon as he hit that was his lot. The one I did take out, I was very surprised with, was Salva. Considering he didn't really have his ground, he's more of a softer, heavy ground horse. He ran a brilliant race in third, only 3 lengths behind Caelan Quinn and Oscar's brother. Yeah, Oscar's brother was 12th, but credit to Kitsbull, he was very good, very, very good.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but did Kitsbull beat Wendigo earlier on in the season, I think, didn't he, over here? Did he come over to Britain?
It was at Kempton, wasn't it?
Was it Kempton? Was it
King George Day in the?
That's it.
What's the? Not Henry VIII? No.
I've got it here. Hang on.
What's the 3 mile?
Corto Star.
Corto Star. That's the one.
Corto Star. Yeah.
The Wendigo was third. Salva was fourth. Yeah.
And I thought Wendigo ran a decent race as well. He obviously, unfortunately, came down. So yeah, maybe. What was Salva in that Cato Star? Did you say 4th? So yeah, that form line seems to hold up quite well, doesn't it? Okay, Coral Cup, or the newly named BetMGM Cup, and Alex, we're going to have to come back to you here again. Put up at 20-1, Jinko Blue. You were confident, and rightly so.
Yeah, he duly obliged, didn't he? He was so good. The only time I got a little bit nervous was, I think it was the 2nd or 3rd last hurdle. He battered one, didn't he? And then he seemed to just sort of pick up again, and then absolutely pinged the last. And yeah, it just didn't look in any danger at all at the run in. It was just such a great ride from James Bowen. Fair play to him. Can't say any more. Just I was so happy watching that race.
No, and fair. I was going to say, I was going to use the double
Fair
F.
Fs.
Fair, fair F's here. That was a lovely, nice, confident early tip. Ian, you must have been happy. Hendo winning again.
I was happy. Again, another Henderson one I didn't back, but I was on Stormheart who finished third, but I think the weight was telling him was 11.10. Good old Bally Adam as well, finished fourth, 11. So he always seems to get into the places with the festival. No, a fantastic win for James Bowen, his second win in the festival, and yeah, Jinko Blue, very, very good.
A bit of a shout to the owners as well, Tony Barney and his wife. I think he's got Django Bay, hasn't he, as well, and his horses are all JB with the initials after his son. And I don't know whether you guys would have seen it being on course, but he was interviewed after the Gold Cup. Obviously, Django Bay finished second, and he said all winnings would be going to the charity in his son's name. Yeah, hats off to them.
No, excellent.
Okay, cross country in final orders.
Yes, very good, wasn't he? I just thought he just again the weight was telling. Favre de Champ kind of dictated most of the ways. He was 2.25 lengths behind final orders, but no, very good at Constone Walsh taking 3 off as well. Stumptown was what was he, fourth in the end, up 21 lengths, but yeah, I think you could tell that the weight was just too much for some of these, and say that it made it more of a better race because it's now a handicap. But Vanillier as well, third, 20 lengths behind, but but no,
he could have done it a bit softer.
Yeah, but no, excellent run. Final orders wins again.
Yeah, lovely. Alex, you love that race. What did you
Yeah,
make of it?
he was really impressive. I mean, he's come at the handicap quite a lot this season, hasn't he? With his wins and places and stuff in his race, and the fact that he's still able to win off that mark is just a test to Gavin Cromwell.
He's a master of the race, isn't he?
He is. He is. A few years ago, it was Bolger was the master of this race. Now it's Cromwell.
Yeah.
I mean, he had 3 of the first 4 home, which is pretty mad, isn't it? Really. I did see someone before saying that they were going to do the TriCast on the 3 Gavin Cromwell runners. They were probably praying that Favre de Champ would unseat at the last, weren't they? So, horse I put up for the race was Pied Piper, who fell.
Yeah.
3/4 way round. He was going well enough. I think it was the 20th fence or something like that. So yeah, one of those things. Just racing.
Indeed. Lovely. Right. Okay. Champion Chase. Ilete Tom. That's a horse I can never get right. Ugh. I don't know what to say about the Champion Chase, to be honest with you. I backed Low de Sud. I was quite confident Low de Sud. When Skelton, I don't know, it was about 2 out. He was coming up to 2 out and he was looking over his shoulder, and I thought, here we go. He found nothing compared to the winner who found oodles going up the hill. What did you think, Al?
Difficult one, really, because obviously it's great that Low de Sud won, and Majborough is disappointing with those sort of 3 jumps in a row when he battered the fence. Overall, just my feelings are just a really poor Champion Chase.
Yeah.
Liberty Hunter made a big mistake early and then still finished second. And he's a sort of 150s handicapper. When you look at the performance of Ilete Tomp, the performance to win that race wasn't even his best 3 RPRs of his career. So I think that probably says it all. Really weak division with Marine National missing. Next year we should have a much better Champion Chase when you consider the horses that then come into the race. So yeah, just feels like it's like a transition year almost for this set of Champion Chasers.
Majborough, obviously highly disappointing, but again, there was a lot of people, I think, who were wary that his jumping could be found out at that kind of pace again. And,
yeah.
I mean, to be fair, the first half of the race, he looked to be flying, didn't he?
It's just a ticking time bomb, isn't it? It's just, you know, it's almost a matter of time. Of once he does one badly, he's going to hit a couple.
And that's what happened, wasn't it? One bad jump, and then he seems to hit every fence after that.
I saw Mark Walsh after the race, or a couple of days ago, was saying that he think he'd be better suited to running on the other track. So maybe a Ryanair campaign next year would be on the cards. But I mean, he's not going to be in the picture next year, is he? So yeah.
Ian.
Yeah, it sucks me in. Madgeborough, so he was superb at Leopardstown when we was there, and said the cheek pieces seemed to keep him more focused. I thought, this is going to be it. So what did he go off? He was 6-5 on, and he suckered me in, and then same as last year. So, as you said, ran brilliantly for the first half, and I think he pecked on, landed on the 8th, hit the 9th, and then I think his lead was reduced. I think he hit 3 out or 4 out, and that was his lot after that. He was 7th in the end, 25 lengths behind, but yeah, as Alex said, Captain Guinness was 4th, for God's sake, 50-1. Liberty Hunter was 2nd, 50-1. Yeah, and Alex is talking about the RPRs. I think Ellerton ran to 172 and ran at 172 when he fell in his previous race. So, yeah, it's always that race, is it? Always the Queen Mother always seems to bring something up, and didn't disappoint. But yeah, good winner. But
don't lie.
But yeah, disappointing again for Madgeborough. So I got suckered in, and I should have known better.
Okay, and Daniel, Jazzy Matty just foiled in the bid to follow up. I mean, God, that must have been the tightest finish of the week. And then obviously, as we were discussing just before recording, Ellie Deutsch on the winners had a whip ban since, so Jazzy Matty backers will be doubly gutted now, I would have thought. Ran a great race again, Ian.
Yeah, it's only beaten the nose, and as you said, he was. It's been done for excessive use of the whip. But I was just considering how he was campaigned as well. Jazzy Matty over hurdles this season, kept his chase mark down. It was I thought he had it. It was just whiskers away from retaining the Grand Annual. But no, an excellent ride from Danny Gilligan again. Not really. I'd done Vanderpoel as well, but again, Pauling's horses were. We're going to discuss another one later, but his horses were disappointing over the festival. But yeah, he was 7th. But yeah, just beating a whisker, OJ.
Yeah. Shame, Alex, you would have been on again, I guess.
Yeah, put him up for the race in our show. Shame that he couldn't sort of fight back. Bit annoying that Charlie Deutsch has now been banned for using the whip too many times. It did sort of feel like that. I'd like to see Jazzy Matty sort of step up in trip now. I mean, you look at sort of most ex-juveniles, as they get a bit older, they start to want to become more stayers, and that's 2 years. Is it 2 years in a row? I know he did he win did he win the Boodles and then 2 Grand Annuals, or did he have a year between?
He won the Grand Annual last year.
I wasn't sure if was there a year between it, or is he a 6-year-old now?
I couldn't tell you. He's 7.
He's 7 now, so it must have been a year that he missed the festival then. But yeah, you just sort of think that maybe you could go for the plate next year, like run him at the back of some 2-mile fields at the start of the season and over fences, and then try and go for the plate.
The year before, I don't think he went to the festival, because wasn't it the year before where he went didn't he go over to the US Grand National or something the year before?
Did he? I'm not sure.
I'm totally wrong. Am I thinking of the wrong order?
I remember them trying him over 3 miles hurdles the year after he was.
He won the Boodles. He was with Gordon Elliott and went to Keane Collins. He didn't run from December 23 until May 24 in Killarney.
Yeah, I'd like to see him go for a little step up with him then for next year. Maybe try and win the plate. I mean, as we've seen this year, I mean, that race going down the years has had such a great record of sort of core specialists winning that, and I mean, he's won 2 Cheltenham Festival races. He's always performs when he comes to the tracks. Yeah, that's where I'd like to see him sort of campaign for next year.
Lovely.
There's a route for you, Ian.
He did run at Cheltenham over 2 mile 5 this season over hurdles. When French Ship won.
Yeah, Bowen's on fire in that race as well, wasn't it?
That's it.
Lovely. Okay, day 2 finished with the bumper. Quite a good race, actually. The Morn Rambler. Skelton Horse in second was quite eye-catching as well. I thought he ran at big odds. Much to take out of it, Al? What do you think of that going forward?
Ones I've taken out already are Boys Town and the Adrian Keatley one in 5th. It was Diamant Door. Thought the winner was really good. Obviously benefited very much from having an actual specialist flat jockey on.
Yeah.
It brought up a very nice treble that me and a couple of guys did between us. We had a nice tenor treble on Morn Rambler, Jinko Blue and Final Orders. So there was a group of 7 of us involved on that, and there was a lot of noise made in the retreat bar of the Cheltenham, the new retreat bar. It was a very nice 5 minutes or so while we all celebrated together. So yeah, real nice memory.
Excellent. Ian, eye catchers in there for you, mate?
Yes, one. That's Hunter for the Gordons.
Oh, in third,
I think I was talking to he was third. Chatting to our friend Stuart, we think he could be one for the Turners, 2 mile 5 next year. Yeah, I think he stayed on really well. And was it 2 3/4 lengths, just a short head behind the Skelton one in second. But yeah, I think a step up for him could be on the cards. But yeah, he was straight into the tracker after the bumper.
Lovely. Right. I'm wary we've been on 40 minutes, so I'll shift it along quickly. People are going to be getting bored. Thursday, Mares Novice, White Noise, huge price winner. Ian, you're making this. I don't really remember watching. I'm not sure even if I saw this race.
Yeah, the Kim Bailey horse. We was on Old School Outlaw, so I ran on. I think he kept on, but it was just too much. Just couldn't get enough for the White Noise. Disappointment with Bambino. She was... Where did she finish? 16th in the end, so kind of really disappointed with her. But yeah, I took some positivity out there. Old School out now finishing second. But yeah, a great run from White Noise, 40-1 winner.
Yeah, Bambino Fever ran no sort of race, Al.
No.
Sorry, I didn't realise I was on mute. Yeah, they said she hated the ground. There were a lot of complaints about the ground, weren't they? But yeah, less we say about that, the better. Yeah, one of those races, big price winner. Didn't even look at it.
Cool. Moving on to the Jack Richards Novice and a Ben Pauling winner here, Ian. He did run a lovely race. Meet Me by the Sea. Gold
He was
Dancer
excellent, wasn't
second.
he?
Regent Stroll ran a decent race in third as well, Alex. What did you make of that?
I'd back for the race I'd had. In fact, I had 2 in the race. One didn't get declared, and then one didn't run because of the grounds. I was a bit friendless for this race, and when I was in the Royal Oak in the morning of the race, having a few drinks as you do, bumped into a couple of lads that then recognised me from going on the Ginger Joe show, and they told me they were really keen on Meet Me by the Sea. And did I back it? No. I was a bit annoyed with that one. But yeah, they were totally right. Yeah, I thought he performed really well. Won by such a long way. He won by more. He had more in hand than the length show.
Good winner.
Fair play to Gold Dance though, carrying top weight and then performing that well. I thought that was quite impressive.
No, he was very good, wasn't he? So he was one of the Ben Pauling bets I had backed previously. I was on Regent Stroll on the day, as you said, finished third. I was just reading here about what the trainer said. It's got regarding the apparent improvement in form, the gelding had benefited from a step up in trip. So obviously thought, there's a sudden surge of winning by 4 3/4 lengths, considering he was fell out the back of the telly. Was it Ulamba? I think he come across at Newbury just before, so he finished a world distance 6th. But no, I thought he was a very good win, and best performance of the week for Mr. Pauling.
Yeah, still nicely handicapped, you would guess, I imagine.
Yeah.
Okay, Alex, back to you again, because Mares Hurdle again. You called it ages ago. She was good.
Yeah, she was really good, OJ. Really impressed with her. She obviously let go in so well coming to the last, jumped the last, and it looked like Jade Greaves was going to pass her, and then she just went on again, didn't she? She just looked like she'd idled out in front. Perfect result for me, because I'd backed Waddy to win, and then I put up Feet of a Dance to place, so I had some money back on that as well. So, yeah. I backed her early enough so you could get 3 places.
Did you double her with Lossie for the champion hurdle in the end? At all?
I did, yeah. I had a nice double on that as well. So yeah, no complaints to me whatsoever for Wadders doing the business.
Good old Wadders.
Good old
Come
Wadders.
back and just win again next year?
I don't know. Not that I don't think she could win, but I just think that would they consider going for the Stayers hurdle with her?
Okay. Interesting.
I think if she ran in the Stayers, she would win a Stayers personally. But I don't know, because Gordon's got a lot of other irons for that race, hasn't he? Whereas he probably knows he can this is her perfect distance. He could just keep mopping this race up.
Keep farming it.
And if they wanted to try her over 3 miles at other places, they could, because there's plenty of other 3 mile options. She's come over to the UK quite a few times, hasn't she?
Yeah.
Maybe try her in the long walk, and if she stays and she runs well, you could try her at a more undulating track over 3 miles. But I mean, if she gets 2 mile 5, is it 2 mile 5 or 2 mile 4? 2 mile 4.5 in the Mares at Cheltenham on that track, you'd imagine she'd stay 3 miles for a long walk hurdle, wouldn't you, at Ascot?
Yeah. She ran at Aintree last season, didn't she?
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Was it Lossiemouth beat her? Yeah.
Yeah, by, what was it, a couple of lengths? Only time she's lost, Waddy. That was. And that was to Lossiemouth on a going day, and she didn't get beaten far.
Lovely.
But yeah, I thought she was
Good
great.
winner, Al.
Really happy with her.
Fair F's to you again. Yeah, she was good, Ian. You don't.
She was good, but she did nearly give me a heart attack, as Alex said. I thought she was going to... Jada grew, she was running on, so only won by length in the end. But yeah, she did get the old heart going. But yeah, a very good mare. Yeah, and interesting comments from Alex saying about the step up. But yeah, we shall see. And Gordon Elliott, only one win at the festival. We'll do again, same as last year. But yeah, she did get us going.
Lovely. Well, talking about the stayers, that was the next race, and a bastard of a horse, another one that I can never get right. Home by the I was just like, no. I give up. I mean, we've been going on about this division, haven't we, for the last couple of years? But Christ, yeah. What did you make of it, Ian?
What the one we was watching that I had backed was Cabral de Matan. And if you see, Skelton had the double handful, didn't he? I thought this horse is going to absolutely shit home, and found nothing, didn't it? Was it
Found
a 2
nothing,
out or
no.
jump and absolutely was like out on his feet? I thought, oh my god! I think he's come out and said that the horse has lost a right shoe, right four shoe. Okay. Oh my god! I was like trying to cheer him on in the Centaur, just found nothing. So he's definitely a 2.5 mile horse, but yeah. Yopi was disappointed in 6th. The one, Ballyburn, I thought was going to catch home by the lead. He was only a length and a quarter behind and ran really well, considering he was kept at the back and his headlock really low as always. But yeah.
I think I read that he clocked the highest speed, didn't he, of the whole week?
Yeah, he did. The whole festival, I think.
He's like Bob Ollinger Martin 2, where he just... trying to find where's he go. Maybe this is it, but he was just too far back. What do you reckon, Al?
I've got a few thoughts on Ballyburn. I'm not sure if the hood maybe did a trick, maybe didn't. I mean, you look at the first part of the race, it felt like his head carriage was even lower than normal. And I mean, his nose can't have been far off the grass, can it really?
He's a mad head carriage, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like do you remember Bog Warrior from a few years ago? He used to do exactly the same. Just looked like he was chomping on the grass the whole way. You must feel so unsafe as a jockey going over hurdles. There's just nothing to stop you falling off the front. I'd backed Ballyburn maybe in like December or something for this race, and I backed him at like 20-1, and I thought I was being really shrewd at the time. And then I think he went at one point to about 40-1. And I felt really stupid with this open bet slip at 20s when he's available much higher. And then coming to like the day of the race, I noticed he was like 5-1. I was like, what is going on? It was like complete up and down. And then, yeah, absolutely flew him like a train, didn't he? And all those people that have said that he wouldn't stay 3 miles, chatting absolute nonsense. Because you cannot say he doesn't stay 3 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a much, much better horse that he doesn't have to absolutely start smashing into fences. He is not the easiest horse to get on, well, to be on the right side of, because he just seems to just do everything as difficultly as possible. But
even on that running, he seemed to wander, didn't he?
Yeah. Seemed like a big step back in the right direction after sort of going the wrong way at Leopardstown. Yeah, I mean, those two performances this year, so it was Fairy House in the Hatton's Grace, and then the Stayers Hurdle this year, his two best performances for a long, long time. So yeah, hopefully he can keep building on that, because, I mean, he was a horse that showed so much potential when he was younger. I mean, he's still only 8. He'll be running in the Stayers next year at 9, which means give it 3 years, when he's 11-year-old, that's when he'll probably win it. Because it seems to be only really old boys that win that race now, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, home by the Lee's 11, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Lovely. Right. Ryanair, Hartwood, Alex.
Yeah, I love Hartwood.
Put him up. Shout.
Put him up a little bit earlier for the festival. Didn't have too much money in because I just didn't really fancy him at the prices he was on the day. Yeah, really happy he won. I'd started to get more and more convinced on John Bond, which just I don't really know what happened. Just a bit of a brain fart from me. Second again at the festival. Didn't really, even if Fatsfall had run, I was so against him anyway. I was happy to take him on. So yeah, Hartwood, really good. Although I don't know if he performed any... Did he perform any better this year than when he was second in it last year? Not really sure. I think that remains to be seen.
Yeah. Fair enough. Ian?
Yeah, it was a bit mad. So we had the news come up that we did hear rumblings that JP had said earlier in the day that Factival was going to come out due to the ground, and I think Willie Mullins wasn't happy with how the ground had turned good. And yeah, so a lot of the money, and as soon as that news come out, I went straight on back to Imperial Passe. He did, again, another one pulled up, didn't really go with Jots, who wasn't travelling at all. John Bond was going well, and similar sort of what happened last year when it hit was it 4 out? I think got outpaced and ran on again. So I know he was 10 lengths behind. It was just those, I think it was 3 out or 4 out, cost him his race. But no, Hartwood again is always there. And so he was second last year, winner this year. What did he get? An RPR 170. So no, very good. But yeah, I don't know what to do with John Bond now. He'll probably go Aintree and step up and win. But yeah, he's 10 now.
You can't crab him, can you? I mean, his record speaks
it's always
for itself,
second.
But he is one of them, once he gets headed, you just think, well, that's it. He's second.
Ian, do you reckon they'll do a shishkin with John Bond and try him over 3 miles?
There was talk of it straight after.
Yeah.
One of the first things Hendo said after
Was it?
that they might even think 3 miles.
That's it. Ian's jumping on Gold Cup next year.
John Bond. They should have gone King George with him a couple of years ago, really. But I think he's left it too late, Henderson. Yeah, I would give him a go over 3 miles in his last year and then see what happens.
Good old boy. Lovely horse.
Good old
Very
John
likeable
Bond.
horse. Okay, Patamps, probably one of, I mean, all season, isn't it? People have been, he was the talking horse, the money horse. And then again on the day he was backed in further and further. Supremely West, Skelton's masterclass again with a handicapper. I would imagine that the bookies took a bit of a bashing on this one in what was probably a pretty good week for the bookies, I would imagine. But yeah, Supremely West, I would imagine, was a very welcome winner for lots of people. What do you reckon, Ian?
No, very welcome winner, especially for my pocket. Yeah, it was all there for all to see, especially with Marchantou, Electric Mason. Marchantou has gone up £25 throughout the season, in Supreme West have gone down to. So yeah, it was all to see. I think that was the bookies. I think they got interviewed after. That was probably the worst they've been hit, was that race. I think because of lots and lots of, was it 100 to 30? He went into in the end favourite, but yeah, it was another Skelton masterclass. But
it was one of them where you kind of like you kept questioning yourself, thinking there's got to be, got to be.
There's something else, and there wasn't.
But yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, it was comfortable win, Alec.
Yeah, it was. Price was just too short for me, which made me really principled to be against it. And then he just one of those ones where now you look back at it, it was just so obvious. The selections I put up, there were 2 of them, and they beat a combined 4 horses. So that tells you how well I did on this race. I have watched the race back a couple of times, and I have making a note of Ikarak of Ollie Murphy's, who I think will win at some point.
Lovely.
But that was the one I was taking out the race.
Noted, mentally noted, and physically noted. Okay, Kim Muir, Alex, ask Brewster, and you've got a tale to tell.
Yeah, so for those that watch the show regularly, Ginger Joe came on the show and put him up as a tip for the Ultima, and I was a bit like, oh, who's this horse? Had a little look at him, and then I remembered that he beat Regard in the April meeting last year, and I remember putting up Regard in October because he really impressed me that day. So I backed him for the Ultima, like Joe said, and then a couple of weeks, maybe a few days before the race, a couple of weeks, I messaged Joe and I said, I don't think he's going to get in the Ultima, but he is in the Kim Muir. What do you reckon? And between us, we sort of said, yeah, we might as well have a little go. So backed him anti-post, forgot I'd backed him anti-post. Then on the day, I realised I thought I hadn't backed him. So I backed him on my phone when I had a few beers. And went to the toilet, forgot that I backed him on my phone, and then backed him in cash as well. And then after the race, I remember I went to collect my winnings, then I realised I had a bet slip on him, then I realised I had another bet slip on him. So I was going crazy on my own in the retreat, watching Ask Brewster win.
Lovely.
Yeah, he was very good, wasn't he? I was very disappointed when they jumped the last, then it looked like he was going to get beat, and then he fought back all the way to the finish. So, yeah. I can't take any credit. Many thanks there go over to Mr. Ginger Joe.
Excellent. Loving that, Al. Ian?
Oh, Jericho the Ripper, Jesus Christ. He was
I mean, come on. We were wrong.
Far too much weight, wasn't it? 12 stone.
Yeah.
Just it never was in the race, was it? I think it was mid position. Finished 12th, but I think it was never really threatening. The enabler backed as well on the day. I'd like to some of the form for previous races. He was 6th for Rob James. Kim Rock was my main bet. He finished 4th, so a bit of place money there. But I'm kicking myself over Ask Brewster as well, because I did, when, as Alex said, when Joe mentioned him at the time, I thought, he likes a bit of good ground, and I thought there's no way there's going to be good ground, especially with some of the weather we had, and then it was good ground. So forgot all about it, left it alone, and 22-1 winner. But no, well done, Alex and Joe.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Joe.
Okay, talking about ground, there's no point in going over all the trainer comments, Willie's comments and so on about ground, and I'm sure we all read plenty of stuff about ground and about starts and so on. I don't think we really need to go into any more. Especially seeing as we're just about to tick over the hour mark. Right, Gold Cup Day starts off Triumph Hurdle. Apollon Duchani, not quite as big a price as, was it, Pony Ross last year, but still a huge priced winner. Mullins again. Ian, much to take out of it?
Not really. So my school of thought was from last year, where we said about Pony Ross, and I thought, I wonder if it's going to be. He had 9 under 20, Willie Mullins. And I thought, I looked down and I thought there might be like an upset or another big price winner. And I come down on one called Kai Lung that had won before. I think he was 33-1, but he pulled up. But yeah, just
he had form with Saratoga, didn't he?
Yeah, that's it. And it was 50-1. Another shot and one I can't say I haven't really looked at or thought about, and the 2 British ones just behind in Minella Study and Maestro Conti. There was a query about Skelton cutting up Selma De Veri, but I know she probably wouldn't have won, but you see, she seemed to get hampered, so it might have cost her a position or two. I don't think anything was made of it, but we kind of see that he did cut Paul Townend up. Some of the others, Proactive was 9th, Highland Crystal 7th. Didn't really run any race, but not sure what else to take out of it, OJ.
I got more and more drawn towards Minella Study. They had the Mickle horse based on form with Winston Jr. And I thought it ran a cracking race. You get seeing it more and more in this race, aren't you? That it's a bit of a pin sticker, but shout out to him because he gave me a good run for my money. Alex, any thoughts on this?
I actually backed the winner, although I can't really claim too much involvement with it. So maybe a week before the race, David Casey did an article in the Irish on Irish Racing, I think it was, and they asked him for like a few each way bets, and he put up like an each way treble on Kieran, Galopin Deschamps, and then Apollon Duchani. And I had a look at that and I was like, well, I'm not putting Kieran in there because I really didn't fancy him, because I know obviously the flat background, whatever. So I thought I'll leave that one and I'll do an each way double on Galopin and Apollon Duchani. And obviously Galopin didn't run, so it just became an each way single on Apollon Duchani, who then won. The race finished. I didn't even realise it was him that was in the front because I was in a members bar. I couldn't hear what was going on. And it suddenly flashed up on the screen that he'd won. I was like, oh, I think I bet that. And I was scrolling through my bet slips on 365 until I found it. I was like, I did bet that. What a result.
Excellent.
Yeah, very happy on that one.
Lovely. Okay, and then we came to County Hurdle. And as we keep saying, Welsh champion hurdle form this season. Willful was one that Alex highlighted early on in the season because of the Welsh champion hurdle form, off the back of Alexei, was it? It was off the back of Alexei. God, he won well.
He won really well, didn't he? Yeah, like you say, I after the Welsh champion hurdle, I then put him up at Ascot, put him up to you guys, and I put him up on Ginger Joe's show. And he obliged just before Christmas money in. Thanks very much. Then got beaten at Windsor by Hot Fuss, who we'll come back to a bit later on. Yeah. And then obviously Julia obliged again. So yeah, I mean, that Welsh champion hurdle form just looks so good, doesn't it?
It does. It really
that
does.
Celtic Dino would have been, if he'd raced in that race, it would have been the same mark. They're against each other. Well, to say it's not the same mark, but it would have been the same weight difference between them. So when Celtic Dino next runs, I'm going to back him. I imagine he'll probably be... Is he waiting till Aintree? He's got to have a cracking chance if he's going straight to Aintree.
Yeah. Like I say, I mean, Willful won so
Yeah.
just it was eye catching because they've been winning all these Welsh champion hurdlers has been winning and going up in handicap, but to then win that so comfortably. And yeah, Ian, yourself and myself, we were both very keen on Celtic Dino. We obviously who didn't declare in the end.
Kicking myself.
Willful?
No. I didn't realise till after. I thought, you know what? How have I missed this? I was absolutely kicking myself. I could not believe it. So my other ones that I tipped up, were they? Bones on Fire was 13th. Mercia was 15th. And didn't really go anywhere. But yeah, Joyeuse was third. I know that Jamie Wren.
She ran a decent race.
Yeah, she was, say, third, 5 lengths behind the winner. I know Jamie Wren really liked Joyeuse, but yeah, so as Alex said, the Celtic Dino, definitely keep an eye on him for Aintree. He's surely got to threaten that form now and win.
Lovely, right. Moving swiftly on, Mares Chase, Dino Blue. Shout out to Johnny. He obviously can't be with us tonight, but Johnny was so strong. He said straight away, didn't he, that this was his bet of the week. He was supremely confident on her, and she duly obliged. She did it very nicely again. What do you reckon, Ian?
Yeah, she was very, very good. She won 1 3/4 lengths by Night was second, but I think she was prominent and dictated. She didn't really seem that she was going to get threatened by any way. So only by Night ran well. Panic Attack in third, who I thought was going to be the big threat, but she was 11 1/4 lengths behind. Perhaps does need a further trip. She's probably better over 3 miles, I'd say. But no, well done to Johnny. I did back her on the day, but fantastic performance.
It was. She almost just seems she's like a bully, isn't she? She bullies the rest of them almost, doesn't she? What do you reckon, Al?
I put Only by Night, and I was really happy with how she performed. Jumping the last, I thought that Dino Blue was going to extend from her. And if anything, Only by Night started to close, didn't she? But just never going to beat the winner. Yeah, it was a good race, but nothing more really to add from me.
Lovely. Albert Bartlett, I don't know, again, some big price ones here. Johnny's Jury won. Frida Mare for Henry ran a good race. I thought Frida Mare was actually going to win after the last. I'd been chatting with my dad, and my dad likes putting on his lucky 15s, and I said, right, what did you settle on in the end? And he'd put Willful, Frida Mare, and a couple of others. So after Willful, and I messaged him, I said, bloody hell, for a minute, I thought you were onto a big winner there. After Frida Mare finished second, he went, I cashed it out after Willful.
No way.
So yeah, I don't know how much there is to say on this. What do you make much of it, Alex? Anything in particular catch your eye for next year?
Nothing really. I don't particularly like this race anyway.
Tough, isn't it?
A good friend of ours always says you always have to back a Grey 7. So me and one of the lads, we had a couple of quid each way between us on Johnny's Jury. Didn't even realise, had no idea where it was till it started flying up the straight. So yeah, no real thoughts on this race. I hate it. Hate the Bartlett every year.
Ian, have you got anything to add? Oh, not really.
Oh, I know. I probably got suckered into Dr. Steinberg because he was very good over 2.5 miles at the DRF at Leopardstown, so dictated. But he went off like a scalded cat, didn't he? He was like, Townhead was like trying to control him. And I was sitting next to the father-in-law, we was in the Centaur watching it, and I was like, it's a graveyard for favourites anyway. And so I didn't go too mad after. Back in Medifur, and he just ran out of petrol. I think he got pulled up in the end. Don't know, just didn't find. He was far too keen. He needs to settle next time out. One I did back on the day was Mondui Boy. So I got suckered into all these Ben Pauling horses. He seemed to be going quite well, but again, just faded out in the running. I think he was 5 3/4 lengths behind the winner. But Alex was saying to me about, was it 2 mile pace in a 3 mile race, wasn't it?
That's what Jamie Wren used to always talk about when he was on with Dave. He used to always talk about these horses that run over 3 miles, but they've run over or won over 2 miles before. They've got such a big advantage.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe one to think about.
Especially
for Johnny's Jury.
Love that, boys. Okay. And the Blue Ribbon event promised to be one of the best Gold Cups in years. in terms of a spectacle, it was maybe a little bit disappointing in the end, just because Gaelic Warrior was so good. I mean, that was some performance. I mean, I was chuffed to bits because I do love the horse. But I could have said that about 3 or 4 of them, to be honest with you. But yeah, it was, some performance. Before you go in, I think we have to say it was such sad news about Envoy Allen and what an incredible horse he's been. So it was sad, and I think it's only fair to pay our respects to an incredible racehorse. But yeah, Gaelic Warrior was mightily impressive. I didn't see that performance coming, I've got to be honest.
No, I would say we all love the horse, so we all love Gaelic Warrior, but to win by 8 lengths like that and say he was hard held again, wasn't he, Townley, coming round the corner. He still had plenty left, and he was fantastic. Don't take anything away from Django Bay. He ran on into second. He was no match. I know the way you're thinking. Again, was eye-catching as well. So considering the awful season he's had, he ran again, really running on into third and stayed on. He's probably needs to go for a national now. I think he could stay that trip. The jukebox man was disappointed. I think Pauline's come out after and said he made a noise, and I had a discussion with me and Alex was talking, funny enough, just before the Martin Pipe. I won't take it. Alex can explain, but I just wonder if that trip was probably a bit too much for him as well. But Gaelic Warrior, outstanding.
It was outstanding. I mean, I was a little bit worried because I know the way you're thinking. Well, certainly first circuit didn't seem to be going at all, and for him to then finish third, but then as last year's winner, I guess you can't take anything away. So I was a bit worried that maybe I don't know. But visually, it was mightily impressive by Gaelic Warrior. Alex, what did you make of it?
Yeah, just sort of following on from what Ian said about the jukebox man. I said a while ago that I think I'd rather have, although obviously he won the King George, I'd like to have seen him in the Ryanair. I see sort of those King George type winners now as Ryanair sorts rather than Gold Cup sorts. I mean, it's 3 miles on a flat track. I mean, Ryanair's 2 mile 5 on an undulating track. I'd have loved to have seen him go in a Ryanair and just try and jump them into submission from the front. Very similarly to who was a scouting horse did it a couple of years ago that won the Protectorat. That sort of style, like as Frodon did when he ran in the race. Sort of these 3 mile horses that are stepping back to 2.5, going from the front in that race. And that's what I'd really like to see from him next year.
Yeah.
I mean, especially when you consider that for the jukebox man, his most impressive performances arguably were the King George win, and then the God, we mentioned the name of this race earlier. What was the name of the 3 mile novice chase on Boxing Day at Kempton?
Cato Star.
The Cato Star in 2024. To me, those are his 2 most impressive performances, and that's at Kempton over 3 miles on a flat track. So, yeah, that's what I'd like him to do. Gaelic Warrior, although I know a lot of people are saying it became sort of a bit of a boring race, really, but it always felt like there was jeopardy. Like the number of horses that week, like particularly skeleton horses that were travelling down towards the last fence or the last hurdle, absolutely cruising and found nothing. And you sort of almost wonder whether that was going to happen with Gaelic Warrior, but it didn't. But it just sort of added that element of jeopardy that you needed. And I mean, it was an interesting race to watch the whole way around with Haiti Culler, who's obviously a big favourite of a lot of people, and the jukebox man out front. And yeah, I really enjoyed the Gold Cup as a whole. It was really good race to watch for me.
Lovely. Okay, a couple to go. The Fox Hunters, apart from the fantastic job the jockey did on the winner, is there much you want to say? It's on the line second, talking about Jaguar earlier, in terms of always the bridesmaid, never the bride. I mean, it's on the line for you, isn't it? Do you want anything to say or not really?
I remember a few weeks before the festival, we were speaking to Paul Beck, and he said he thought Barton Snow was going to miss the festival and go straight to Aintree because
he did, didn't he, on the Twitter thing?
Yeah, I remember him saying because he thought that just the distance, you think he'd be better suited to that race at Aintree. So, I mean, if he goes there, I mean, you've got to imagine he's got to have a hell of a chance. I mean, he ran at Cheltenham in May over 2 mile 1, and now he's won at Cheltenham over 3 miles 2. I mean, what a performance, really.
Yeah. Some gamble as well.
Oh, yeah, it was, yeah.
No, too.
Backed in, didn't he?
Yeah. Ian, happy to move on? Because
Yeah, so I backed
your
in our
crowning glory
preview. I
is
said
coming up.
about Music Drive coming and come third, and I did get suckered to It's on the Line. I thought surely, so he's been second. Was it 2 or 3 times? I think it's the
Is that
last two,
third
and I
year
thought
on the trot,
surely,
is it?
yeah, I thought surely it's this year, but no, beating the neck again. Yeah, not much, not much else to add, AJ.
Okay, so the final race of the festival, the Martin Pike, and I could see the edges of Ian's mouth just turning upwards. The excitement's back. Ian so confidently put a pair of entitlement on our video.
So did I. So did I. Although
I was going to say that you said on the video, Alex, that Ian had persuaded you along that line. So, and to be fair, I mean, we all take note of you. I'm not saying we don't take note of you, Ian.
No, that's right.
I'm going to stop digging. But you were supremely confident, and yes, wow, what can you say? Well done, sir. Take it away.
Yeah. Yeah, she was good. Again, I was a bit worried. She hung right, didn't she, towards the last? And we talk about Hot Fuss. So that was when Willful won. We made a note of Hot Fuss after, and I thought, surely this horse we've just found in the last minute can't beat her. But no, she stayed on. So she won me a fair few quid. Alex was with me. Honestly, I was I didn't know what to do myself. It was just fantastic. But great performance from Patrick O'Brien. So it seems that this was the plan all along. They want to come here to the pipe rather than go for the mares, like the mare's hurdle. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see where she goes next. She probably would have blown her mark. I'm not sure what mark she got actually. What's she got? She's gone up £6, so she's 144. Wow. Yeah, be interested to see what they do with her next. Whether they put her away or maybe go for another race in Ireland. I don't know. Fantastic.
Lovely. And Alex, of course, you put up an air of entitlement, and you also, after Willful won, you were straight on Messenger saying Hot Fuss because Hot Fuss beat Willful.
It was at Ascot, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Windsor.
Race before.
They I think Hot Fuss had beaten Willful and Willful had beaten Hot Fuss over like 2 races, hadn't they? It's quite a funny race actually watching it, because at the start of the race Hot Fuss was basically last, and then I looked down at my phone for must have been about 15 to 20 seconds maximum, and I looked up and he was on the outside in about a second. I was like, what's going on here? I was like, is that the same horse? What's happened? Where's he gone? Yeah, it was just a really good race. Fair play to Ian. I mean, he was so confident on his horse. He put up such a good case for it. I then obviously joined the bandwagon, put him up as well as my fancy for the race. Put her up. I mean, you say she's up to 145, did you, Ian?
144.
That probably puts her not too far off being in the mare's hurdle, doesn't it? I mean, if she wouldn't have to improve that much to be I wouldn't say a contender, but wouldn't have to improve that much to place in that race. So why not? How old is she, Ian?
Where are we? Cheltenham, mare's hurdle. She's 14 to 1 already.
Is she?
7.
She's 7. Well, Feet of a Dancer is 140 as a mark of 144, and she was only beaten 6 lengths in this year. So, although she should have been in a handicap. Although I'm glad she wasn't in the Coral Cup that I wanted her to be in, because then she'd have got beaten in there anyway. So yeah,
Lovely. Good finish to the week for you boys. Excellent stuff. Go on, your performance of the week. Eyes with you. Shout out. What? It doesn't have to be a performance of the week. Best moment of the week. Whatever.
So I don't know. I think obviously Erin Tolton needs to be up there. Gaelic Warrior, I think needs to be up there to say he was very good. I think what else? So probably Kitsball as well. I was quite impressed with as well. I think he ran a good race over 3 mile. But yeah, they're probably my 3, I'd say.
Lovely.
I'd say performance of the week for me in terms of how impressive it was would have been Gaelic Warrior. Just, I mean, to have that speed at the end of that race, considering, I mean, the horses that are out front dictating the tempo as well. It's not like it was a slowly run race and he flew off. It was 2 real like good speed horses at the front of the race, weren't there? And then he still came off the pace and just flew home.
For anybody who was doubtful about him staying the trip after, it looked like he could have gone and done another circuit after.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then for me, sort of personally, for my own ones, probably either Jinko Blue winning the Coral Cup after I'd been so keen on him, or just ask Brewster because I was really drunk and I was happy I'd won loads of money.
Love it, boys. Love it. Right, well, I've really enjoyed that. It's good just to catch up while we're fresh. To you guys out there watching, please leave your comments. Let us know what you thought, what you made of the week, anything you've got eye-catching, what you thought really impressed you. Get involved in the comments and we'll get back to you. And mainly, thanks for watching, and thanks again to our sponsors, that'sagoal.com. Keep an eye on the site, keep going there, keep checking out those offers because there is some really good stuff on there. And yeah, gents, thank you very much. I'm sure we'll be back on again soon. We'll probably do something for Aintree, I would imagine, will we?
Yeah, I would have thought so, yeah.
Lovely.
If people want us to do an anti-post show looking at 27 as like a stupidly early one, get in the comments and let us know. But if you're not interested, just don't let us know.
Yeah, excellent. Right, gents, thank you very much. And we'll see you all again soon.